podcast. I'm your host, AJ. I know that we've planned this for a while now. We have discussions all the time, boys. So thought, why not kind of start a podcast? The plan is every week we'll be having different people on it, kind of giving their views on certain topics. But today I've got two of my boys on. Do you lot want to make an introduction?
For sure. If you don't mind me going first. We've been planning this for a long time, but, it's great to be, having finally set up.
I just wanted to know your name, bro. That's all it was, man.
You haven't even said your name.
My name's Shaheed.
Easy, bro.
Shads.
Who we got here? As you can probably tell, we're all new to this, yeah? So don't hate. Yeah, we're learning
It's
up.
a work in progress.
But yeah, look, we've got my boys on today. And I think the topic that we wanted to start with, that we felt was most natural, was the fear of starting something new. It felt a bit uncomfortable kind of starting off with this, but why not? So making this podcast, I know we've been chatting about this and I've been looking through, our old chats, yeah? We've been chatting about this since January. Do you remember the last time you lot come here? So you know what? Since then till now, it's always been on the back of my mind to kind of start this up.
I hear that.
But with that as well, there's a lot of uncomfortable times where I kind of knew when to pull the trigger, but never did. So maybe a lot of people can relate to some other topic, situation where you wanted to do something and you always kind of a bit shook about it. So yeah, just to start off, the difficulties with starting this podcast were things such as, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if it's just a waste of time, So
Yeah.
for me, I kind of felt like the idea of starting something new was great. But when you're actually implementing it is where I kind of felt like I was a bit nervy, Do you know sometimes no matter what it is, whether this podcast or anything in life, I kind of felt maybe it's not the right show. Maybe people would judge. I did feel like that initially because obviously work, people might see it. And what if I say something incorrect?
Oh.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like trying to get cancelled. That's all it was, So that was my sort of situation of, I just felt uncomfortable, So boys, have you lot come across any situations or any sort of areas you want to kind of touch on in terms of starting something new and being a bit shook about it,
Yeah, I'll throw one out there. Yeah. Okay, so for me, starting something new recently, I would say would be online dating. Because I've never done that before, right? I've never used like those apps like, Hinge, Tinder, any of those ones. So decided to download it. And, it's just to try to speak to people, to try to, get the conversations with people, just to open them up, figure out things about their life because they're from different walks of life. And just to have fun with it as well. Do you know what I mean? In this moment in time.
What's it saying?
Well, I've connected with maybe like 3-4 different girls, just been chatting here and there so far. But that's what I mean.
Do you feel like, was there a bit of nervousness or?
Yeah, definitely, because it's something that I've never done before.
Yeah.
So I've got no experience in it, going to a field that I know nothing about. So again, just trying to get advice on it. Like, for example, I spoke to Shads a few times with my aunt, and they just give me hints and tips and things on that I can work on. So I've been trying to use that, and it's so far it's all right. Connect to a few people, but yeah, again, I think that was something I never knew I would ever go into.
Yeah.
Again, that's starting something new, isn't it?
It's always that fear, isn't it? When you go to the unknown, it's just like no one's ever done this before. Obviously,
it's a leap.
It's a leap. We've come from a place where, I don't want to make it sound like it's the ghetto, but it's quite hard to find role models and to kind of look up to. Did you not agree to that? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Shads, what about you? What any situation?
Well, not in terms of experiences, I guess I can relate to the fear of the unknown or something new, especially because a lot of people may be overthinking. That's why I think it comes from. I appreciate there's loads of things that happen, but a lot of people sometimes overthink. People can overthink for every single detail, the perfect time to start, the right time. Yeah. Sometimes just jumping in it and just don't worry about mapping everything out. Sometimes it can feed back from the fear of the unknown, fear of starting something new, and everyone feels that way because what do I start?
You know what? You picked up on a good point, which is the perfect time to start. Like that's massive. It's such a negative trait to have. Like you want everything perfect before you start something new,
Just jump into it. You learn more on the journey than starting.
100%.
So that's the main, my main point to it. So I've had a lot of moments in my life where I always thought something needed to be perfect. I realized that I've definitely learned a lot as I'm going on the journey, and it's pretty cliche. There's no perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're always going to be growing. I was speaking about this in gym right now. My body is in better shape than I ever was previously, and I'm always thinking, damn, it looks good. But then when I train hard for the next physique or next step, it looks great, and I'm like, I want what's next and what's bigger. That's the part of just, starting something. You don't know where you're going into it.
But that's a good thing, though, no?
It's a great thing. And you don't know what the expectations. You go through the journey, you learn in the journey, you make changes, you change your workout routines, your food diet, you figure out what's right to eat, what best ways to work muscles.
You invest more time.
And then, you eventually, you grow. That's why, going back to the fear of starting something new, my advice is just sometimes leap into things and pick up on the way, and just don't worry about finding the perfect time, because now no time.
Yeah, that's key. It makes sense to kind of start on this sort of domain. So look, in terms of that, starting something new, the fear involves, like, I think the natural step next is to talk about some situations. You could chat about situations if you want to, or you can just make it general about when you've taken a step into the unknown and it's kind of worked for you. Because what I feel like, especially a lot on social media, there's a lot of glorification. Like, let's just say, like, Andrew Tate, for an example. Obviously, we'll touch on this another time, but I feel like kids, but I think what the point is, a lot of kids watching him thinks that's the right way, as in how he speaks certain topics, whether you agree or you don't. That's what people will look at. But I feel like it's good to have a different point of view. What Shad was saying about just jumping straight into things and doing something different. But I feel like people need a different view as well. Like, coming from where we come from, you can always be successful in any way you want, right? But right now, I feel like we're in a certain phase in life where we're growing towards that.
Sure.
So a lot of podcasts, a lot of people that speak, they're at a point where they already made it, whereas we're going through the journey. Do you know what I'm saying?
The startup phase.
So look, what we're not here to do is kind of say, look, we're right about these things. It would be good if you can kind of comment on the video to show your point of views as well, because look, we're learning as well, right? And it's just an interesting take on it. But yeah, on to our next point in terms of like diving into the unknown. Like, have you guys been in any situations where, I mean, let's just take gym aside, any sort of life situations that you feel like, I took this step, I felt so uncomfortable, but I've grown so much from it?
I think sales for me in general.
Sales in general. So do you want to give a background on, in terms of what it is that you do?
Yeah. I studied technology in university. I thought that I was really into technology. I loved everything about it. I loved fixing it. I didn't know enough about the area I wanted to go into because it's so vast. I was in a rush in the time frame in terms of choosing our perfect university. So I jumped into University of Greenwich. It was great life experience, a lovely year. Going to university and studying computing with digital media, which is more marketing side of things, I realised it wasn't the course for me because I want to go into more of a different technology side.
Was there sort of like fear continuing with that because you knew it wasn't about it? Or?
It was more of the pressure to choose the right thing now and not be able to slow down. Your places, unfortunately, this is how our society is, our school system. It's so rushed. You're doing the exact same university with a bit more freedom and a bit more independence, and then you have to choose the right career. But I think the best thing about it is learning. And my situation was, I decided, let's stop. Let's not take any further than these two, and we can try something new. And I decided to get my first job, and then not too long after that, got my first job in sales because I've realised I like talking a lot.
Would you say your success, just obviously generalising it, not going too much into it, is more like you knew when to leave, and that was success for you? As in, like, there's different ways people look at it.
That's true.
If you leave a job, some people would look at it like it's a failure that you went there and you gave up. But it's all the other side of things is you left because you knew you wanted to do something bigger. Something's not right for you. I feel like everyone's got a different situation going on. So like
this September, I would have worked for a decade. I would have worked for, like, my first job would have been a decade ago.
Yeah, so
10 years. Can you believe it? And I've had 15 jobs in that time. And now I'm in something that I enjoy.
Exactly. Like it's all about progression. That's how I see it. Because, like you said, when people leave jobs, they're looked at as they're job hunting, like job hopping. But at the end of the day, if you're going in the right pathway to where you want to go to and progress in certain ways, you'll learn.
So Shad, your sort of way of dealing with uncomfortable situation was leaving a new job. But the thing is, the good thing about it is you jump around.
There's a lot of pressure.
Of course, like you jump around. But the thing is, every job that you've been to, you've learned something new and you've kind of translated to now. But what about you, Mabs? If you've been in any situations where like you feel like I took this step and I'm going from it?
I'd say definitely jumping into cybersecurity.
You'd use the example of jobs as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because you're going into, again, to the unknown. You don't know if you're going to be successful there. You don't know what it's going to be like, having to restart all over, meet new people, make new relationships all over again. So yeah, that's definitely.
Was your main goal at that stage in terms of to kind of build foundations,
Well, yeah, for me, I don't know, it's try and not get fired, really.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah.
So is that your fear, as in like?
Because originally, like, some of these jobs I worked at, we were dealing like FCA regulated accounts, but I lost like 50 grand for one account one time, and I was thinking I didn't even get fired for that job. They just gave me a warning, and that was it. And then we just carried on. But it's like thinking like, imagine if I did that for a bigger company. Imagine like getting fired. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen people lose their job on the spot just for like, stupid shit. Those are the fears of jumping into something completely brand new.
Because in like you start a job and you kind of fuck it up.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. It's different perceptions of it. Like you can look at it like that. You can live in fear, but you can also kind of be like, cool, mistakes are there to be made.
Yeah,
no?
exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that obviously you feel a certain type of way, but look, I think it's just being real with yourself, you know, just to say, you know what, I messed up, but I got two options now. Either I'm going to cower away or you're going to accept it and learn how to move on.
Yeah, you got to the lesson.
Yeah, not the only best way, because, you know, the only way to learn and grow is purely by mistakes.
100%.
So I'd rather make mistakes from straight away, and I'm trying to make as many mistakes as possible. I even started my new job. I had a spreadsheet, just everyone I called, and I was writing down how many no's and how many rejections I can get. Just see it, and I kind of had a game with myself to say, if I can get 10 a day, you know, I've had a good day. And then you realise that you're breaking down the fear of rejection by going in there to expecting to be rejected.
That's such a good point. The fear of rejection, right? And I've seen certain people move like this. People will not accept that they make mistakes. If you're insecure about something, or if you're not happy with how you are, I'd respect you more if you're like that, because you're honest to yourself.
Exactly.
And like, I know you lot are the same as well. I want to be surrounded by people like that.
If you're willing to grow, that's all it is. You have to be like, I accept my flaws.
100%.
Let's grow now. Like, it's all about growing right now.
I know certain man that will just gas. Like for me, you know what? A lot of it you can just read right through it, and it comes back to insecurities. So that's where
so many people are like that. I'd rather support you, because I'm like you said, trying to be like-minded people. If you're doing something, it goes back to that kind of Mayweather saying. It's like, you know, he was surrounded by, you know, billionaire buddies on there. You can't hang around with you because I need it now. I need to.
Yeah, straight. Like, that's a great point. Shout out Money Mate.
And you know, I'll be a sponge, because if you got there, I need to know how to get there. It's all about growing and helping each other out, and that's what it's all about.
I do like how things are going here. Like even starting this just like 20 minutes ago. I don't know how this is gonna go.
You know what, we talk.
It's nice, man.
We have conversations like this all the time.
It's good, because the thing is, obviously, we all know we ain't perfect, and I don't want us to kind of portray that, because if we did, then it's a bit false. So I think a lot of people will probably be in our situations where they want to try to start something new, but they're too shook of doing it, because the people around them will probably either laugh at them. Do you know what I'm saying? So certain things like that. But I think this is a very important topic about what we're talking about now. I'd use a different example from work, as in when I was at uni, I moved to Spain. That was crazy, man. That was so hard for me, because you know what it is? Growing up all life, I've known a certain type of ways, certain type of people, certain type of mindset. So I had to kind of go to a different country. And I can't lie, it was so hard at first, man. Like, obviously, I'll pop things on like Instagram. Obviously, it looks like I'm living in heaven. You know what I'm saying? And it was. But for me, I've only been around certain type of people, so it was so hard at first for me to kind of start chatting to new people. But obviously, so I couldn't even speak Spanish. I've probably been in Spain one time with you boys back in then. Do you remember?
To be fair,
when you were on that holiday to Barcelona?
I remember even coming back from, you know, maybe it was such a growing experience for you,
What's that?
Mallorca.
Even
when I saw you, and even after that, your confidence was crazy, because you lived out, networking, learning, going out and making networking friends on Facebook, and then going to events, hike. I'd even joined you on a hike. But you grew there.
100%.
Going out there yourself made you become a certain way, adapt a certain way, talking to people now. It's played out to how it is now.
It's cool. I've known that us lot have all got a growth mindset where like we're not happy, we're not settled. Like you know what it is? I want to make sure like my family are patterned no matter what. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of think like might as well do it the right way. Like, that's not easy, you know, to maintain. But like that's my goal, man. Like everything I do for growth is to earn more peace, so the people around me are patterned. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my sort of goal and what I want to do, what we're kind of moving towards.
And I would like to look back on some of the
conversations. Bro, 100%, man.
Because we've had a lot of good conversations where it's all about memory now.
But you know what? Hopefully we get a few subscribers, but if we don't, we're just enjoying ourselves. Trust me, I'm going to make fake account. Trust me, man. Make bare burner accounts.
So sick. I'll gotta get my mum and dad on it. If you get your mum and dad,
get your family on it. Yeah, you best get it.
We're hit 10 by next week.
Trust me, man. But like I said, I think, you know what? It was good to kind of start off on this sort of topic. This is all new. I don't want to be Mr. Motivational Man here, but if you do have an
idea,
idea,
motivation content's the best. But it only starts with people being motivated.
Trust, not just be,
So,
be yourself, man.
If you're motivational, great. You bounce off that. So,
sorry, I know I've gone off a bit of the tangent again, but I've seen on like social media, a lot of people kind of base their lives on what other people are. Like, it's okay to be yourself. Social media plays a big part in terms of like how we kind of think, how we look at things. For example, do you know following Insta?
Yeah.
I used to have people that I don't even give a shit about. Like, why am I following your life?
I'm following them.
Like,
go on a little spree one day.
Trust me,
like,
man.
Why am I following these people? And
It's mad.
I cleared a lot of junk.
I don't need this content in my head, man.
You have to surround yourself by content.
Trust me.
Unfortunately, that's not valuable. You have to even put that limit on, bro. I got a limit on my.
Oh, what, you get a limit?
You know, Instagram and iPhone has it. You can just put a limit on the app. And Instagram has one where if you get to an hour on the app, it just says you reached an hour.
Bro,
I'll just try to limit myself.
I've been checking random memes. I've been knowing about people's lives. But you know what? More than anything, we just wanted to put something out there. I think we kind of close there. So what the plan is to kind of make a new video every week. If there are people watching this, which will be amazing, it'll be good to kind of give a bit of feedback as well. We're not coming here acting like we're experts. Yeah, this is all new.
The base of this topic is just start anything you want to start. Don't worry about over planning. You know, this is motivational stuff. You learn from this. You can pick this up. And the main thing is just, you know, this self-doubt can be a bitch, but the only way to overcome that is just by starting.
Damn, man, look at that. Who'd have thought a few months ago we'd be chatting about stuff like this? But you know what?
It's all growth mindset.
For sure. But yeah, on that note, what we'll do is we'll end it here though. But it's been a pleasure. It was good to talk to you lot. Hit the subscribe button if you can. If you don't, it's calm. But thank you boys for coming through. You know, we'll have a lot more coming in the future, but it'll come in time.